Okay, so it's 3:45, and I'm trying to figure out how in the hell is this being so bright? Usually it's so dark around me. I don't know what the hell. The light's down all the way. That is so weird. Everything is so fucking weird right now, I swear to God. But this is weird. Like, anyways, this is just another weird thing of all the weirdness, I guess. Hold on, I have a little bit of this tea left, but I wanted to get started. It's 3:45, and Stella is already giving me grief, so I was like, because she wants to eat nonstop. I can't even believe it. Yeah, I mean, she's never eaten this much, and she's not gaining weight. These two little sausages are like, because they want everything she has. I keep trying to cut down theirs and give them little, and she wants to eat nonstop. And we're running out of treats again. I was like, I can't keep up with this habit, man. I just can't. It's enough problems keeping up with my own, really. So hold on to that. And this fucking tea, that's a goddamn expensive habit, I'll tell you. I swear to God, because I can't even. I can't believe this is the thing that's really getting me is how the time is going. And I know it's standing out to me for a reason. That how time is going and how I just keep running out of stuff. And it's like, this is so weird. It's so weird how it's like not, there's like no congruent. And I was like last night, which I want to talk about the night because it's so fucking weird and it's still so fucking weird. um the energy, it's like I wasn't asleep, but I was, but I don't know it, and I've been up a few times, and I had this horrible headache too, and the food keeps giving me like the stomach flu or something. So I was talking to Amy, and she's on like day 4, I think, of our fast, and she said that how good she's, and she's following along with this guy who's doing like 40-day fast or something. There's people out there doing extreme fasting, but I mean, this is really us just breaking programming because we're an illusion and we don't need all that stuff. And we're energy. We need to feed our energy. But anyways, they've got us trapped in this 3-dimensional, your flesh and blood, you got to eat all this stuff that they program us to believe. And so the, hold on. Well, I'm already becoming aware that I'm fracturing off on all this stuff I'm saying. So then it's like, hold on. So all this extreme fasting is going on. It has been for a while, and more people are having issues with the food. And I don't think it's just, it's like my body's not in alignment with it anymore or something. And so, and I keep having like this stomach flu thing. So then I was like, man, this is just sucks. And it was making me like, man, it's hard to even figure out anything to eat or anything. And, so I asked her how her fast was going, and she said the first 2 days were really hard. She got a headache, and it was a struggle, but she said by day 3, she felt energized, and she said that she just was like, she went on a bike ride, she just could have kept riding and stuff. So it's supposed to be, because it starts at a certain point, uh, it's something where like the good cells eat the bad cells or something. And so all your cells get like rejuvenated. You get all like everything heals in you. The longer you fast, supposedly, the better you get. So, so people like who have the CA stuff, that it would be good because everything you're doing is feeding the parasites or something. So I don't know. But anyways, I'm gonna try it because I struggle to get through 24-hour fast. So but I'm at this new point now where like my body is saying like the food is a problem. And so and my tea, what I was going to say with the tea is like, I'm going through it so fast. I cannot believe it. And it is expensive. Like one thing of goat milk is $20. each of these different powders is like 20 bucks. And the more popular it goes, what do you think happens with the price? It's just, they just gouge us, man. And that's what they're all being in trouble about. And I just saw a girl yesterday, and she said that there was something going on with the power company out by her. So she knows we're going towards free energy. And so she went over and she was like, so what's up? What's going on? And she started getting a talk. And they said that when Donald starts, we're going for the free energy, and how it's Tesla energy. And it's, and I know they came out here and put on new, they came out and replaced all of our the wood things that go up and hold the lines. And I was like, this is weird. Why are they doing this? Is they're way taller. And so I was like, okay, so either this has got to be something good for the energy that's coming, or they're trying to put something up to take us out in a storm. Like, I wasn't sure. But this girl is saying, so they're putting in these new things on those. So if they haven't replaced yours, you can go out and look, but there's supposedly these new coils. They all have coils on the top. I haven't gone out and looked at all mine, but I was harassed again yesterday. This fucking, I don't know what the fuck. So I was keeping my curtains closed for a while, and then I had them kind of open, but not all the way, because it really is like, it really does let a lot of cold in. And this one I keep closed a lot anyways, because like this is where it's right over the couch. And so a lot of times, like if I'm like laying there, sitting there, and I always feel like, I don't know, I always feel like people are watching me. Like, I just got this thing. And I know that there is like you know, because that has been made clear to me. Yeah, you are watched all the time. But I was, but anyway, so I keep the curtain closed on that one. So I guess I was like, fuck, is that guy going to come back? Like, are they going to be trying to like get my attention? I don't know what the fuck these guys want. But there's so much with this mad dog in me, man. It's like, what the fuck? I don't get it. Because the second time they came, they did the same thing. He stood down there like mad dogging me by the end of the driveway. And I just went back in. I think I stood there on the porch staring for a minute, and then I just walked back in like, you know, whatever, dude. And so, so then this guy the other day, and those vests, you know, like when the guys are out, I don't know, different work crews and stuff. They're like those reflective vests. So it's like this yellow with those big reflective stripes on it. So, and this guy did not look like a professional, because his beard was like almost to his waist. It was long. I don't know if it was that long, but it was fucking long. And those guys usually aren't professionals. They usually are, or not service workers, more like laborers or something. And so because they can do more what they want. Corporations, and when you work for certain places, they have their dress codes, the way you need to wear your hair, all their bullshit. So when people are more out and not in that kind of thing, then there's a lot more, you know, they'll have their hair longer, their beards longer, more tattoos, just all different stuff. So anyways, because as a nurse, oh my gosh, you wouldn't be able to get a job. Like, I wouldn't be able to go in and get a job. If you, any of the ones that had tattoos, they had to like work at nursing homes and stuff. They weren't, the hospital wouldn't hire you. Then they started hiring more, the guys going around, you know, they move the patients around. I don't remember what they're called, but they started having tattoos and stuff. But still there was kind of an uppity thing with, like, I went to a party after I started having a bunch of tattoos. I don't remember, because I got a brain injury, and then, all my relationships were deteriorating. But but I went into that marriage that was my dead end, you know, it was my rock bottom. And I was already, let's see, because that's when I lost my license, was during that marriage. And I didn't know, you know, I didn't see that coming. And that's what flipped everything upside down. So it was like, I'm telling you, it was like one thing after another, after another, after another. Like, I'm telling you, when the universe is trying to put you in a different direction, they're going to kick your ass, man. You got to get with the flow. You got to see which way are they leaning me, you know, because if you're fighting the current, you're going to get your ass kicked. It's no fun. It's way better to get tuned in and, you know, especially like with your guides and stuff like that. And I was very disconnected. Like I said, there was a period of time where I had like my spiritual foundation. I knew what I believed in. I believed in reincarnation. Nobody else did. People thought I was weird. I believed in alien. I believed all this ghosts. I believed everything was like spirit. And it was this stuff that I talk about. And so, you know, I just felt like that's what I believed, and we're just here living, and I just do the best I can, try and keep my karmic debt low, just go with the flow with more of like the dramas that I would go through is I would just, you know, get spit out. The dramas, I'd spit out on the curb, spit out on the curb, spit out on the curb. And, you know, and you just feel like, why is life kicking my ass, man? What the fuck? But I just kept on telling myself, well, I must have done something bad in a past life. I mean, what else? Like, and I didn't realize, you know, that some of my lessons were about learning how to take care of myself, love myself, have boundaries and stuff like that, which is totally tripping me out because every day I'm getting this Joe Dispenza, I think Dispenza, something like that. I don't know who he is. I've heard his name before. But this video series he's putting out, it's about mental health or something, or about uh, uh, how the one I'm hearing is about women who live alone and all the benefits. Like it's a lot, but I've been talking about them while I've been alone. So I don't just necessarily look at it as just like women. I've talked about it as just healing in isolation is like phenomenal. Like you will I mean, it totally expands you because you don't have anybody else. There's nobody there. Like, and you have to self-soothe. You have to figure things out on your own. You have to do things by yourself. It's like, it's, in some people, like they can't handle the loneliness, but man, you go in and listen to his stuff, his explanation and stuff. And it goes so much with what the stuff I've been talking about. That's how things are going to start closing in. Things are going to start, this other diagram, this other pattern is going to start forming and stuff. Things are going to start going together like that. And people are going to start seeing because people are so dependent emotionally on each other. And they don't realize how toxic that is. And, but anyways, like I'm living proof of some of this stuff. Like, let's look at my tooth because I'm living proof on this is, and the hair thing, which it drives me crazy is how much brighter it looks with this light because I just feel like it's gonna just like I don't know, like it's just gonna disappear in there because it is but I think you'll be able to see, like I think it will show like a little bit because I just feel like there's gonna be people, oh, you colored it, so but there's all those kind of people like if you can't see it like then you're not paying attention or something. Because to me, it's obvious, to the people who have been following along is obvious. And whatever is going with my hair, I feel like my whole body feels like I'm actually being covered with this wax coating. So I don't know about that too. But it definitely is going all over my hair like this. It's just this like, it just like coats it. Man, it's so weird. It's just like the texture of my hair is different. The color, this part is changing. So anyways, Val, let's look at the tooth thing because to me, it looks like every time I look at it, I feel like it looks better. It's like slowly changing, but it's definitely going in the direction that I wanted to go in. So I started to catch my breath all the time. Look at that, man. There's no denying that it's getting better, man. There's no faking that shit. Like, that's real. So, anyways, I just think that there's this, like, to me, what it is constantly, it feels like, is this breaking free of this flesh and blood concept to start realizing, like, that we, that flesh and blood concept that they created makes us so dependent on how they tell us that we need to handle it, manage ourselves, the whole thing with the food and stuff. Because I've always been interested in this whole thing with the Brethren. There's this whole group of people that were like at a certain point they seemed like a cult, and they've been living off of fresh air and sunshine. I think some of them may drink water, but I don't even think that they all drink water. I don't know. You can look into them. I've found it. I think it's fascinating. And, man, I was having a bunch of things coming in my mind at that same time. So hold on. Like that was like, oh, I was trying to reach for these different things. And I was like, I got to finish this. Oh, that was intense. Okay, because there is a bunch of stuff. Okay, because Elvis's twin, the old Elvis's twin now has been found in the mental hospital, and the DNA proves he is in a whole storyline that Elvis was told and stuff. Like there's a whole bunch of shenanigans, like so much shenanigans. There's no hiding from the shenanigans, and there's nothing to block the people's lies anymore. Everything is gonna fall apart and reveal the truth, and it's happening all over the place. But Elvis was a twin, and which I think Elvis is still alive. I think he's that preacher. I'm pretty certain about that. Is and I don't remember. I think this preacher's name is Bob or something. And is there's just the way the connections that he has with Elvis and his daughter and his wife, and like God, look into all that. And I mean, he's married to Elvis's old girlfriend, like so and now he's got this brother, his twin, that never was told about, and he was told he wasn't that he was just I don't think he was ever told he was twins at all. I think they told him no. But anyways, you have to look into the story for all the details. But now they've got this twin DNA approved guy that has been saying he's Elvis's brother this time, and they just lock you up. Just shut up, crazy. But the crazy thing is that there was a movie I watched about it. I think I talked about it. It was a few years ago, and it was some movie that popped up, because that's what always happens. These movies just pop up. And it was about Elvis had a twin. His twin just longed to meet him. He knew he was a twin. And Elvis guy, the famous singer guy, he didn't know what the other guy knew, and he wanted to get to him. And I don't remember what happened now. Now it's kind of blocking, because now I've got this other story going in my head, because now it's like, oh, they took him. He was trying to get to him and they took him. Why would they take him and hide him off like that? I don't know. Some people say Marilyn's still alive, so I don't know. There's just crazy shit all. This place is weird. Man, it's so weird. Oh yeah, because so over the past couple weeks, I saw. I think it was like a week and a half ago or something. I saw some video and it said the Malaysia flight has returned. And I was like, what? And it looked like it was some newspaper or something. I don't remember what it was. Maybe it was like a news report. I don't know what it was. But it was saying that it returned. And so I thought, well, this is going to really become big news. And don't forget, there was a show about that. There was a show, and I think it's still going. I don't know. I watched it a few times, but a lot of the times when I'm watching the shows, it drives me crazy, because I know they're putting real stuff in it. And then they manipulate the information. And so this was a plane that went and disappeared, and then it just came back. And the people get off the plane and have no idea that they've been gone 9 years or something. And they haven't aged, but the people on the ground have aged. And it's this whole thing, and it's got espionage and stuff and airline stuff and all of that kind of stuff. And when I saw it, I think I saw the first season, and it seems like there's at least 3 seasons of it, and it was like a ABC, NBC, one of those shows, I think. I don't remember what it's called though, but they had that in a thing, and I knew, like, I was obsessed about the Bermuda Triangle when I was a kid. Just like it just fit right in with the whole death scare. You know, I was real focused on death and what happens and all that. And so where things would just disappear. And I knew, I mean, I couldn't, like, I could understand what was happening, but I didn't have, like, portals and stuff like that. Like, I didn't understand all of that stuff, but I could see, like, it was a place in the frequency kind of thing where they could go out. And that when you go out, then you're in a different time and space. Oh, yeah, because that is what I was talking about, is something with our time and space is falling apart, because that is something that they were showing me, because there is no real time. It's our own minds that we try and capture time, and then we try and link it together, but really it's just these different things happening. And so the time that keeps fracturing, why nothing is being congruent for me, is because there is no time. And it's like my teachers are trying to make sure that that is clear to me or something. So that's what I was getting last night about that. So um so man, that was like I was like trying to hit a bunch of different things. Okay, so now if I get back over here, where was I? Uh, I was already past the one show about, okay, so the Malaysia flight is showing back up. And I was like, that is exactly what would happen, is that they would come back and it would be like they haven't aged. And they've shown that. I think there was a Matthew McConaughey movie that showed a lot of stuff that I don't know, because they had him as like, we went out in space, but then it's like he was time traveling, and he's seeing different like windows of time, or like portals of time and stuff. And so anyways, it has stuff about that. And then the whole way they do it, like this honeycomb thing and stuff. Yeah, everything is so trippy, because everything is like it's like different from further out than it is when you go way close in. Everything is like this telescope kind of thing. And where you are in the telescope is like gives you this different like alignment to the experience. And so the closer you get, the more intense it gets. But it is trippy because like um because man, that's fucking hard to it's like it's like a cell inside of a cell inside of a cell inside of a cell inside of a cell. And and then it's like where you are in that pattern to be able to see what is there, because it's different in all the different places. And so like on the movie where it was showing like all these different realities, where it was almost like his own home, different realities, but then you could go out and then it would be all of these other realities, and then you could go out further, it'll be all these other realities. You go out for, you know what I'm saying? But it's all of like this honeycomb thing. You got to think of everything as nature represents what is real. And so natural patterns and stuff, that is what we come, well, that's like what we come from, well, these natural patterns. So that is a way that you can more understand about yourself and about how things work in like nature or the spiritual part of life. And so everything is about patterns and stuff. And everything is like set, like you wouldn't see something growing and then it changed patterns. It has this pattern that's going to bleed out from the rest of it. And even if you looked at it and go, yeah, but that's a discrepancy, that should be right there or something, well, it's always going to go exactly where it's going to go. And that's where you aren't, that's not a mistake. That's supposed to be there. That's like in your own life, those things are supposed to be there. You're not making mistakes. You're setting patterns. You're developing things. So you're not making mistakes. People get so caught up in the thinking that they're making mistakes. They're doing it wrong and stuff. No, you're learning, you're growing, and you're developing. And so every single life has its own life, its own creation. And so it is just because you've lived 1,000,000,000 lives and you lived in other places and you're other things and you're an assortment, you're yeah, a lot of stuff, man. When you hear the people talking about the what is that theory? This, not the matrix theory, the game board theory, the computer thing, like we're all in this computer thing. But to me, it's more like we're all in nature's computer thing. It's like, if it's like a giant computer, then that's what that's what everything is then. I think it's more organic than that. I mean, it may work like a computer. That would be like why we would develop computers the way they are, because that is in our understanding, because that is what we are. And so how it works and stuff. So it's going to be kind of based on our same kind of ways that we work. And so, and then we do like have a motherboard and receptors and all of this stuff place. Well, I don't think we hold as much information. Like, we hold information different than how we think, because your hair holds information. Like, you have parts of you and stuff that hold information, but people think everything is just coming from their brain. Like, it really, it's more of a connection to access memories, to look at it. You know what I thought is weird too, as I just heard this person say that if you have a narrative, a dialogue inside your mind, then you won't have the pictures. And so it's one or the other. Well, I have both. So I mean, that's maybe I couldn't become ambidextrous unless I forced it. I mean, maybe I was always meant to be, or well, everything that you are, you're meant to be. So, but I favored my right hand until they told me that there's people who can do both, and then that's when I was like, well, I'm going to do both then, and I learned how to do both. But I don't know. I mean, that tripped me out kind of when that guy said that. It was like, well, I have an inner dialogue and I have pictures, but maybe all the pictures are through the telepathy. I don't know. I don't know, but I know that you don't just get stuck thinking you can only do one, because I do both. So, oh yeah, okay, back on the Malaysia thing. So, what's trippy is that, I saw that thing, and then I haven't heard anybody talking about it until today. And I may have heard somebody yesterday too. It may have popped up. And then today, so I was sitting there listening. I was like, um, no, maybe it wasn't. Because this video, she goes, I wonder why nobody's talking about this, because this seems like big news with this Malaysia thing. And I was like, oh, okay, let's get the skinny on the Malaysia flight thing then, because I had heard it had returned, and you would think that would be the biggest thing that everybody would be talking about. Like, a plane left this dimension and came back, and so what's up? What's going on up there? And so, but that wasn't what she was talking about. So I still don't know if it has happened or what. I don't know if I dreamt it. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I don't know what the fuck is going on with it. But this came up. So this there's a whole bunch of stuff coming out about the flight, and the people who were on the flight, they were all like scientists, like the same thing that happened with the crash over with Brazil or something. And then there's footage that showed 3 orbs come up and go or surround the plane, and then the plane, they're flying next to it, and then they all go, because they just go into a different portal, different space and time. And there would be a reason, and I would say, like, uh, and maybe it had to do with those great minds or something, but they are making like that. Oh, that would be trippy. Yeah, that would be so trippy if the scientists had done it, had set it up to have it be that they were going, just like they did with the Philadelphia experiment, because there's something going on with that. I don't know if this is just a bunch of crazy talk too. I heard that the ship is showed back up or something. There's some ship that supposedly disappeared and is shown back up. I don't think it was the Philadelphia one, because when that one showed back up, that's the whole big story, is when it disappeared, and then when it came back, all the crew and stuff were like melted into the ship. It was like a real horrific. And so that one has returned, but there's another one. So they've been doing these experiments, trying to break through space and time, trying to break through the firmament, trying to dig down. Like they've been trying to escape here. As they keep us trapped, they're trying to escape. They're trying to figure it out. But then you can look at it also, you know, that they wanted to take out these scientists because they wanted their technology. And but whatever, they were escorted out and went. And it just was tripping me out because I was thinking, man, they could be like in these really fancy labs working with all these different aliens and stuff and developing technologies. If they came back, we'd probably all like, that'd be a big, that's our quantum leap right there. They bring us back all this technology or something. So I didn't even know that they were all these scientists. So yeah, if it is really coming back, or did come back or whatever is going on. I don't know. It's just weird how that just was like, because I hadn't even thought about that flight in a long time. And then I was like, oh my gosh, is this going to be the craziest time? Just crazy shit just going to keep happening. But back on the power thing too, is so this girl was, when she was talking to the electric company place, they said it's supposed to, it's Tesla coils and it's supposed to go into free energy once Donald starts, and that there is like 800,000 indictments. It's not 80,000, it's like 800,000. It's like a lot of indictments going, and power companies are in there, which just kind of trips me out because this whole thing with my power company, and I'm not sending me a bill. I haven't asked anybody else if they haven't gotten a bill, but yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know. So I don't know, you know, what's going to go with that. And but then it will also be, I mean, it's not going to just be the power company. I mean, it's going to definitely be the water company and stuff. Like, I mean, it's fucking absurd. It just boggles my mind, seriously. Even I told my mom the other day how much I'm paying for water. We're in the same motherfucking state, man. And I'm paying almost $100 a month. And she said that she has to pay like the same thing as like in Spokane, where it's $10 if you go over. You can use as much water as you want, but they have a cap on it. If you go over this huge amount of water, then you get charged $10. I think hers is something, and she lives by the lake, and she has to pay more than that, but it still is nothing. I mean, maybe hers is like $30 or something. I don't know, but over here, I mean, it's fucking absurd. And it being in the same state and stuff, like they gouge us. And then all these things that come to me and show me like how they do this all on purpose. The developers, the whole thing. Oh yeah. So the fucking guy. Okay. So the other day, so the one that pulled up, the guy with the long gray beard. So he's in some SUV thing. It was a white SUV, and all of a sudden everybody around here is buying white SUVs. So there's a whole bunch of them, but everybody else's is kind of bigger. His was more like a smaller, rounder kind of one, like a Jeep, you know, a Jeep, whatever those things are. Not like a Jeep, but one of their SUV kind of things. So anyways, and it was white, and it had some kind of word thing, whatever those things, a logo on the side of the door. And so I knew it was some kind of business, but I knew he was watching my place. I knew he was looking at my thing. And the only thing, you know, that I worry about is their next move over this property. And so I didn't know what the deal was, but it's like I'm gonna stick with like what my dad told me, just, you know, just to not like, and also don't forget like what the sign thing, like I said, I fenced in my whole yard. I mean, they've got the like 5 feet or 6 feet from the street or whatever that is, but and the HOA wanted more. I was like, that's some fucking bullshit. Luckily my fence isn't cemented in, because I think then they, because my fence could be considered a temporary fence because you can just pull it up and take it with you. So anyways, when the Secret Service came, I didn't even have all that posted. I had one thing posted about private property. I think it's a little sign my mom gave me about a mastiff is patrolling or something. And so, and it's just hanging on a tree. I just thought it was like a little cute thing. And it's always busting itself off. It's always swinging itself out. And so anyways, that one was out there. But there's gates, see? Like that whole vampire thing. They can't come in unless you invite them. And so, I don't know, maybe that's part of the maritime law or something. I don't know. So anyways, they didn't cross that barrier. They talked to me across that the whole time. And then, and I didn't offer them in. Don't fucking offer them in. When they said, can we come in? No. And I'm not even going to answer. Like, I've seen some of these people go in and then shut the thing, and the cops are like trying to get in, and it becomes an argument, like there becomes a tension built. I'm just going to go sit back in the back of that and just be quiet, let the dogs do all the talking, and just sit back there. Like, they don't know, like, maybe you're in the bathtub, maybe you're fucking dead in here. How the hell the fuck do they know? And so so anyways, them not being able to cross in to come in unless they're invited or something. So I don't. So those guys didn't do it. Then I put up those signs. The electric company guy, he just moseyed right on in here. Like, I was shocked when I looked out and there's a guy just standing there. I was like, what the fuck? And I went right out there and said, what are you doing? And I'm just like, man, this guy is, like, he's all friendly and stuff, because out here, like, I don't have one of these, but that's how people, I saw it on Nextdoor, how they fucking think that they handle shit. And so I was like, dude, you don't go wandering up in somebody's private, like, you just better watch yourself. And so anyways, he did, and that just seemed like, a young dumb kid who don't know what the fuck. He just got orders. So but the FedEx guy, UPS guy, none of those guys. I think the UPS guy has brought my thing up once or something since I had the gate. But they also know the dogs can be out. And I put a drop box down there. And that's another thing, too, is I've got a mailbox and I've got a drop box. And when they came out to foreclose and they did that whole thing, and, usually they come up and put it on the house and they tape it all on and stuff. No, they did it across the gate. They just pulled up, they got out, and they put it all on the gate, taped it all up. And I just walked down and took it off. And but they didn't cross over. And then who was the other one? Because there was another that came. Oh, those guys that keep coming in that black SUV. Those guys don't cross over. They just sit at the end of the driveway trying to mad dog me. And then mean mugging me. Like, yeah, you want to go? It's like, I got you, psycho. Then the I don't know. It seems like I'm skipping another one, because it seems like there was another one. But anyways, then this guy. So this guy the other day, he comes and he's sitting out there, and then it starts being like he's walking up and looking at my yard. And then when he walks over to the gate, that's what got me, because I was already closing the curtains because I could see him over there and the dogs were going crazy. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck this guy wants, but I don't want anything to do with it. And I was shutting the curtains, and then he walks down there. So he's like directly in front of my thing, only, I don't know how many feet would that be, 100 feet or something. And I'm going to be curious and count it. Maybe 150 feet from the house, the street. I'm not sure. So, it's not like he's right here. He's further down. It's not like I can make out the details of his face or something. But, he has some factors that I could recognize. So, but yeah, I could see the vest thing, where I kept thinking, this, like, wow, what is going on? The only one thing I could think of that I would be being approached on, unless it's gang stalking, is if they were going to evict me. And then why would that would just be the cops would come and serve you papers or something. Or but he didn't have any envelope. He wasn't trying to serve me anything. And I have that Dropbox, but when they have to serve you, but still there's a whole point. I just saw somebody talking about their divorce and how long it took to serve their husband. Eventually they just had to tape it on the door because they couldn't find, he was dodging them all the time. And mine did that too, the first one. So so anyways, that they won't just, but that guy did not have any envelopes or anything. He wasn't serving me for anything. So and he looked like a work crew person. And and it was just weird how he was just coming up to my driveway. And so he's standing down there and I'm closing the curtains and he's just whatever the fuck he thinks he's doing. To me, he's just mean mugging me. And so I just closed the curtains and he stood there as I could see him. And he stood there for a few minutes or whatever, I don't know, maybe 30 seconds. Like everything seems so much longer when it's happening. And could have been 10 seconds. And then he walked down and he seemed really frustrated. He was back over on his car and it seemed like he was on his phone, but there was trees blocking, so I couldn't see really good. And then eventually he got back in his car and then he left. And so then I was like, okay, so Christmas Eve, probably nothing. And especially the weather was fucked and stuff. So I was like, okay, so probably nothing will happen. And Christmas Day, surely they're not going to send somebody out here Christmas Day. So yesterday I was thinking, okay, so today would be the when it's something's going to happen, somebody's going to come or whatever, and then maybe I'll see. And then why in the world, if they've got something to say to me, why aren't they putting like something into my mailbox or something into my Dropbox or taping it on my gate? And so this one, this was so fucking weird. I just I don't even understand. Like it is so fucking weird. So I'm in the house and let's see, I think it had been raining and raining and raining. So the dogs were just laying here asleep. So I think I laid down and I went to sleep. And so then I got up and I was like, oh, I don't think it's raining. I should go and take him for a walk now. So I start just putting on all my snowsuit, all my garb. It takes me a few minutes to get all prepared to go out into the weather. And so I'm putting on all of my business. And the dogs are getting all excited and stuff. And so then Stella and Max were just all jacked up and they wanted to, so I opened the door so they could go out. So they go out and they go tearing down the driveway, barking and all excited. And so I'm standing up here. Archie, he decided to go yesterday. He was having a meltdown. So I was messing with that because then he decided he was going to go and stuff. So I step out on the porch. And right as I'm like, this is so fucking weird. So right as I step out on the porch, and also my house is, so the street is like this, but my house, so my front door would be facing that way, but then the porch would go down, so the porch would be going the other way. So I would walk out, but then go down. So going down would be facing the street. So you would think coming out the door, nobody could see me. Like there's a whole house blocking. The porch is right there. So the house is blocking everything. If you're over here, you wouldn't see me on my porch. And so I walk out of the porch. I walk out onto the porch. This white car, it was like sporty, kind of like I don't know, kind of reminded me like a Honda or a Nissan or something, or the sportier kind of, what are those things called? The car shape now, sedan, only like a coupe or something. So like more sporty coupe, kind of one of those kind of cars. And it's white again. And so I'm standing on the porch, so I can't see that over there either. So I can't see, fucking hell, I'm so uncomfortable. So I can't see this part either because I'm blocked by the house. And so all of a sudden, and the dogs are going crazy, and all of a sudden this car comes zooming up, pulls like it's pulling like across from my driveway. He has his window rolled down. He starts yelling at, I don't know, maybe I'm just weird or something. Maybe he's just yelling at the dogs. But I'm pretty sure he was yelling something at me, especially because he had on the same fucking green vest with the reflector things, or yellow, or whatever the fuck color that is. And so I caught that as he's going by, and I'm thinking, what in the hell? He's just leaning his head out, yelling something. I can't hear him. I don't know what the fuck he's saying. And so I even thought about asking the neighbor, because he's got that recording thing, and it hears really well, but I don't know, with the dogs barking and stuff, I don't know that he could make it out still. So but I was like, okay, what the fuck? Then, so he goes, and right there where I said, like, we're on a turn. And so he goes down there and turns. I don't know whose driveway he looped around, but so he goes and he turns and comes back. And I'm still standing there. And he comes back and he slows down by the driveway and is sitting there just mean mugging me, and then drives off. And then I thought he stopped like 2 houses down because I thought I saw somebody out of their car in the vest thing. And so I was going to leave and go get water. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go over to the construction site and see if I can find these guys. Like, what the fuck? And so I we went for our walk and then came back, and I put the dogs up, and I went and drove over to the construction site. And when we went out for the walk, there was nothing. There was no car, nobody. He wasn't sitting 2 houses down or anything. He was nowhere to be seen. And I was not knowing if he was going to circle back around. I didn't know what the fuck. And so I took him for the walk, and then I went and I got the car, and I drove over to the construction site, and I went and drove in looking. There's no white SUV, especially with any logo. There was no white coupe car thing, and there was no guys, not any of the construction guys had on that vest thing. And so then I'm like, okay, the plot thickens, what the fuck? And there's no other construction going on in the neighborhood as I looked. And so I'm like, okay, what in the hell? And so I drive out and I'm thinking, okay, I'll probably see some out here. There's maybe like road thing going on out here or something. And maybe that's what they're from. Nope. Drove all the way into just the little town out here where I go to get water by the the post office. So I drove all that way, it's like 4 miles or something. No construction, nothing. And so went, got my water, and came back, and nothing posted, nothing, no, nothing in my mail, nothing. So I don't know how it is not supposed to feel like kind of gang stalked or something. Like, what the fuck, man? And I don't know if they're gonna keep doing. And who the fuck are these people? Like, and what do they want? And why in the world, if you're trying to make contact and the person in the house is not, why wouldn't you just put a note in their mailbox? Hey, I'm trying to get a hold of you, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I had tons of those when they were going to put to the auction. Now I think, it was probably fortunate that the bank sold the house back to itself, and it wasn't dealing with some of these people. Like, maybe these are like the lynchmen of the developers around here or something. Because that is another thing too, is when the developers, they wanted to put all these houses in, and Whatcom County asked us, like, well, what do you guys think? And our roads are being fucking destroyed. Like, the roads are so fucked. Like, this is so fucking absurd. Like, to watch how this is all gonna play out. Because even when I said something, because they're trying to make us, the people who live here, pay this $2 million for these fucking roads. Then in the summertime, when I was out driving, when the car was broken down, and I saw the county was out doing all the roads, and I was like, oh, so none of these people have to pay for getting the roads done. But because you guys put us in the HOA, we're supposed to pay. The county's not going to pay for our roads, but we have to pay. And the roads are totally fucked, and they're saying that we had to pull them all out and put in this $2 million worth of roads. And these new construction people drive these giant trucks over. They use our roads. They've made their own little closed-in part. They've got this fucking janky up fucking gate, and so they're fucking exclusive. It's so fucking janky. So anyways, but they have to use our roads to get in and out of it. And then all the construction people, all these giant trucks and shit. So our roads are fucked, man. They are giant holes and stuff. And I had said something the other day to the neighbor, and she said, well, now the new development's supposed to pay for our roads. Oh, I was like, okay, let's see how that works out. Like, it's so fucking absurd. So fucking absurd. Like, there's a red tape of the fucking developers and stuff. But anyways, when these developers wanted to put it in, and then they ask us, what do you think? I sent a video and told them what I thought. And so I don't know if that also got me blackballed. Like, I feel like I'm on a list for sure. Like, but then the other thing, don't forget about this, is my my license and everything, my car registration, my license, everything is my mom's, which is somewhere else. So if you were going to go looking for me, then wouldn't you go there? Like, why would you go here where it says that this place is sold? And, I don't know, like, I don't know if these are guys pulling up and they want it to be empty and somebody's here, so they're getting mad. Like, I'm not sure what the hell. Like, I totally just don't get it. But whatever these guys are, they are totally aggressive. And those two, like the ones that came in the two different times, months apart, those were the same guys. Like, I don't know if it's the same driver, but I know it was the same guy who got out of the car and stood and stared at me. And then and these two, the giveaway that they're connected is because they got this fucking vest thing on. So, fuck, I don't know. I'm just going to keep the window curtain thing shut again today. Like, fucking hell. I have no idea. I mean, I think that the thing that is saving me is the fence. And, if they are going to come and try and evict me, to me, that's where I would have to get a lawyer, which will be a pain in the ass, especially in Washington State. Fucking corporate owned bitches. That, to try and get a lawyer to fight for it, because it is, like, they're impeding, infringing on my rights, and that's the thing that's all going to be coming out. That's all the stuff that's coming out. Even what I said with this Luigi thing and stuff, this amount of stuff being exposed, the amount of corruption in the judicial and stuff, all this stuff is to expose all these big dramas playing out are to expose what's behind, what's the truth behind the scenes. And it's exposing all these different people. And it's just so trippy too, is like, as we're sliding into home base, is that I keep expecting, like, Joe's gonna flatline the economy any second, and Donald's gonna come and pick up the pieces. But then I started thinking, they could completely have it where, we're just gonna stay doing this same thing until the 20th, and then we're gonna go through this whole thing of it all being exposed, like, oh well, there's no money for this, there's no, but I don't know, because he's already signed on to the BRICS thing and stuff, so I don't know. And our glory days are just going to be like, boom, all of a sudden we're just off of the fiat and onto the the gold standard thing. So I don't know. I don't know how it's going to play out. It's like, it's weird because it's like the window of time is closing in on Joe, and he just keeps lingering and dragging out and dragging out, and it's like, is there going to be, I mean, there's tons of dramas. There's tons of weird shit. Like, he's just giving money away, pardoning people. He let out like almost 5,000 murderers and hardcore criminals and stuff. Oh, yeah. And also, I was really getting it strong on this is, so Barack, he had something to do with this, this publisher thing or something. I'm not sure what it all is about, but so in that movie, when they were talking about the First Amendment thing, and they kept making this whole thing about this publisher, and so the publisher of the book had to be held accountable for what was said in the book or something. Like, there was all this court thing that they were doing, and I was kind of hung up on a different part of it. I wasn't thinking so much about that. And then but there was things that were sticking out to me, but now there's more pieces that are coming. They're sticking out to me again about this. So I think that because that's something that they're doing, that they're going to get in trouble about. This platform, all these different platforms, is that they are trying to act like a publisher or something, and they're trying to edit us and stuff, but they aren't. They're a platform, not a publisher or something. I don't remember all of these different things, but the thing is I think that they used that storyline in order to try and take our rights away, but they're always doing it in a way like it's so necessary, like this is something we got to do. But I think that this had something to do with Barack, and I think it has something to do with our hold on please, our rights to like free speech and stuff. So I don't know. I think there's some kind of a link in there. It's weird because there's all this stuff starts popping up and it's like, oh, this goes together, this goes together. But I don't know how it all goes together because I don't know all of the different stuff. But that was something that Barack was doing a lot of, was like taking away our, like, it's like they shift things around and they make it like they're doing us a favor, they're helping us, or take, they're but it's always the exact opposite. And it's like we don't see through this other part, so we get hung up on this part that they're telling us or something. So there's just this constant shadiness. But I think that that has something, and it may be just standing out to me because I'm in that group. Like once they start those class action suits, like I'm on, I've been fucking, it's weird too, because X, when they kicked me off of that, when it was Twitter, and then wouldn't let me back on, even when he was like all selling all this free speech and stuff like that. And they still wouldn't let me back on, like I'm a fucking criminal or something. And they'll let criminals on. They'll let all sorts of people on there. So, but not me, because I was mean to the politicians. And like is this, and as the Secret Service showed up, and when they were asking me all that stuff, and I said, well, I'm just this old lady who's pissed off, man. I'm not crazy. I'm just pissed off about these fucking liars. They're lying all the fucking time. And so anyways, it's justified. It's fucking bullshit. And then calling them out, and then I get kicked off as like a fucking criminal, and so they're pulling up. And all I'm is sitting there saying, maybe I was saying it in kind of a threatening way. Like, what is do you know what what is that called? The what is that called? For treason, what the repercussions or whatever, the thing that happens if you go and do this. I can't remember what I was saying, but I would just say the same thing over and over. It wasn't like, I was just trying to make a point. I was trying to get people to see, to think like, these people are liars, and they're committing treason. Like it's, and it's against us. It's against us. And, it's the us that needs to stand up and say, we're not taking your abuse anymore, motherfuckers. So, oh yeah, because back on that thing. So back in the day where I was, 'cause this is something that was sticking out to me too, was back in the day where I was on all of the pharmaceuticals. And I was very disconnected. I was just going like a robot, just like everybody else. And going to work, going home. I know I was a workaholic, man. And so I would work as much as I could. And then when I wasn't working and my friends would want to go out, I'd go out. And I had teenagers who were, but if I could do it over, I woulda, shoulda, coulda. Wished I would have spent more time with the kids and not doing the other stuff, not going and working so much and stuff. Because all the time goes by and it's gone and it's fast. And at the time, it doesn't seem like it's gonna be, but it's over so fast. And so anyways, I wish I would have, put more time and effort into that part. And I think that is, where my daughter is regret or resentful of me over this certain part of my personality or this certain part of my behaviors back then. But I was just as fucked up as everybody else. But that is where everything was falling apart. And because the universe was putting me onto this other trajectory to get my shit together. And that's where you have to choose. You can choose to fall apart, or you can choose to get shit together. And I chose to get my shit together. And it's a healing journey. But there's something else that was coming into my mind. Because the going through the healing and stuff, it does change you. Oh yeah. Okay. So on the drug thing, because I was thinking so much about this, like on people who are like street drug people. And then when you take a bunch of pharmaceuticals and then they say, well, you're a drug addict too. And because number 3, he would tell me that he was like the cocaine person. Like, I don't know what all he did, when he was in his drugged out time. I don't know what he did. He lost his family, his businesses, and all that stuff. But So I don't know what all drugs he did. And, but he was, in druggy and like a blue collar, what is that? Blue collar, white, like a corporate junkie kind of guy. And so and there's plenty of those motherfuckers. And so, anyways, he would tell me, yeah, because I would take all this medication, and he didn't take any medication. Then he didn't even go to the doctor. And so, well, as soon as he went to the doctor and they put him on medication, he took that medication, but it was for it was a mood, for trying to control his moods, because a lot of people who have mood disorders become alcoholics and drug addicts because they're trying to control things themselves. So, but anyways, he didn't like that because it took him down too low. But anyways, but I was on all these different medications, and he would say I was a drug addict, and I would be like, I'm not a drug addict. You're the drug addict. And it sparked it in my mind, and I was thinking about this last night, like all these drugs like that we're taking and stuff, that people go and get those drugs, like people who have them sell them, or people that get them stolen, and those are what end up being the street drugs. So no wonder the people on the streets are like, those are drugs, those are what we're doing. Just give us your prescription. And then there's those of us who are out there getting the prescription. So it's no wonder that they sit there and say, because that's what they're trying to get, is those drugs, not the blood pressure ones so much, but especially the anxiety, mood stabilizers, all those kinds of things, the pain pills for sure. So anyways, I'm just having all sorts of things coming into my mind all the time, all day long. Like that's the same thing as like with time. Everything is just like shifting so much. Everything feels so weird. And like last night, like the energy is intense. I kept waking up with this horrible headache. Like it's this total band around my head. And I'm just now starting the fast. Like I'm just now this morning breaking trying to break my habits, my habitual cookies in the morning and thing. And part of me wants to just go all in, like I'm never eating again. I'm just a breathering now. I'm just gonna stay breathering, but I'm still gonna be drinking stuff. But then I was like, how do they not get real skinny though? That is a thing. Like, because like I don't want to lose weight. I'm like, fuck. So I don't know how, like, I don't know. Like, I was one thing where I was like, well, if it starts being like I start withering away, I'm just gonna have to, because I don't really have weight to lose. And so there's nothing, like if I start losing weight, but I wanted to try like even like the 30 or 40 day, like I'm talking all big, like now, like, yeah, I can do it. I keep on thinking like what she said, you just gotta get through those first couple days. Once you get through the first couple days, and I'm having such a bad reaction to the food, even the tea, like right now my stomach is going crazy, and it's just from the tea. But also what I was going to say with the tea thing, because it really is super expensive. It is so expensive to try and be healthy, to really get all of these minerals and all of this stuff that has got stuff in it that you need. And but that is the thing too, is like when you're taking all that stuff in, all these minerals and stuff, then I I don't think that we need this other stuff. It's like filler. It's like filler. And then another thing I was really standing out to me was how many people choose their like these two different parts. It's like somebody over how they eat or whatever. Because some people eat to like, well, I don't only want to be this size. I don't want to be a bigger size. So I'm just going to monitor myself and eat so I stay the size I want to stay. And then other people are more of like, well, I just want to indulge. I just want to enjoy things. I just want to eat whatever I want. And then if my body tells me that it's too much, then I'm just, that's my body's problem. It's just like, well, that's because I want to eat what I want to eat. And I was just, that was just standing out to me so much yesterday. I was just like seeing these like two sides so clear. And there's nothing wrong with, I'm not saying that the people are wrong, but I just know there's going to be a shift. This is going to be a huge shift. People are going to start looking at things very different, and their indulgences, their everything that we feel like we don't really have full control over ourselves. Because this is a time where it's going to be a lot more of, it's weird because you think of being more controlled, but it's really, it's not. It's like here, like pulling the reins in, and I see like on a horse, and I see like it just being under control instead of just going out of control, is like pulling the reins in and having control of what you're doing, not just being led by your impulses, because that is the thing that we're breaking free from. And all this stuff is it breaking free from our emotional strangulation that's created by our own, it's like our own inept emotional baggage, our trauma, the things that we carry with us. But it's like we don't want to look at that. We want everybody else to look at theirs, but we don't want to look at ours. And we want to blame everybody else for being broken, why we feel bad. And, we're going to stay in the same broken place then. And, oh yeah, and there's so much with this, what the energy you're putting out is going to be coming back. And I can't remember, I was like seeing this one so strong, and this energy that people are putting out. I don't know if it's the shelter thing again. I can't remember because it was yesterday, but I was like seeing this energy being put out and how it's going to shift and just come right back on. And it was like I could see like how the energy is shifting. And so it's like we're in this turn, like if you think about the boat turning thing. So we're in this turn, and think about how a boat changes and how the water changes, because we would be the water, we would be the energy. So when the thing that changes, and we're in this time of change, we're in this time where this thing is going to change. It's like the going from dark to light. And so in this change, as it's going, it turns the other direction, and it's going to turn. To me, it's like we've been turning already. So it's turning slow, but it's going to feel abrupt. Something's going to happen that's going to feel abrupt. People are going to just be like shocked awake by something. I'm not sure what it is, but all of the lingering and stuff. But that is a part of their awakening. It's not like, the universe is fed up and they're like, well, you're waking up. No, it's always set this way. Watch how it plays out. Watch how the things that the people are going to be healing, how it's linked to them, towards their attitude, their biases, their trusting in other people. Like there's going to be a certain things that the people are healing, and it all has to do with the effects of what is happening. And so it's supposed to happen that way. So nobody's doing it wrong, no matter how many times people want to sit there and say these people are making a mistake and they're stupid and they haven't woke up and stuff like that. But the fact that they haven't is going to be a part of their trauma, the stuff that bothers them, the parts of themselves that they want to change. And so those things are going to be highlighted to them. We're all going to be highlighted things. And so, but the energy turning, and that is where your energy is going to start coming back on you. So all these people who have been putting out like hatefulness and negative and everything, it's going to turn and come back on them. And but that is also going to be a part of their trauma, part of their learning. And so it just is important to really pay attention to how you're directing your energy. And it's always a good idea to just direct it towards yourself and your healing. And okay, ma'am, I swear this is like nonstop. Like they just had treats. Like literally right before I started, they just had treats. And it's like, no, she's fucking starving all the time. And my stomach's growling, and now I'm gotta be like, break on through to the other side past this hunger, and it's so habitual. Like we do habits, and then it's hard to break habits because at the same time as when I do this, and so anyways, I'm just gonna keep on drinking the tea all day, and it's so fucking expensive, like, and it's so and I'm sure I'm gonna run out of some of this stuff because time just keeps dragging and dragging. I just can't even believe it. It's like almost 2 weeks till I get another check. It's like, oh my God, this is just the weirdest thing. So, and I have no idea who's going to be fucking coming up to mad dog me today. Out there mean mugging me. Maybe they'll come out all together. It's like, dude, I'm not going to come down there and talk to you. You fucking seem very aggressive and vicious a little bit. And you can, I have a drop box and I have a mailbox. You want to fucking make contact? You got ways to do it. Fucking send a little fucking flying airplane. Sit down there, fold the plane, and send it through. I'll go down and get it. But I'm not coming down there and dealing with the whatever weird shit. Like, some men come and show up at your house and then just keep staring at you and staring at you. And plus, the first time those ones came in the black SUV, then they were like, oh, are you Kelly? Are you Kelly Hart? Are you? And I was like, nope. And they're like, oh, you're not? And I'm like, nope. And they're like, do you know where she's at? And I'm like, nope. And like, do you know her? I'm just like, nope. Everything. And how do they know? They don't know. I think that there's so much of our passivity and our taking a knee all the time. Like, we feel like we owe them something. We don't owe these people. And then especially these corporate fucking people who are still a part of that system. It's a system of repression. Their whole judicial, their cops, everything that system is created to enslave and oppress all of us. And even if they were putting darker people into ghettos and making it clear that they were trying to really oppress them, still they're locking us into oh yeah, because I didn't say that one yesterday, because the guy who had moved to California, oh yeah, because I went off on my story. So this guy who had moved to, I think it's Oregon or something, and got his house painted and stuff, and they were telling him to go back to California, painted it all over his house, go back to California. And something he said, I was like, dang it, what was it? It was so fucking, it was so weird. That was something about them leaving California. Oh man, I can't remember. But it was like, sometimes you hear these people say things and it is so off from your perspective, so off from your how you look at things and stuff. It's like, what? So, okay, girl. Oh, see, it just makes her so happy. She's just like, I'm the queen of the world, man. She does. She lives like she's the queen of the world. Come here. Let's see if I can get her to turn around. She never likes to be. Come here, girl. Come here, girl. Come here. Let's see that pretty face. Look at this pretty face. Look at that pretty face right there. Because I can't help but love this girl. She's such a precious. Oh, did you see that? That's sore. It's so weird. It's like a fucking spacecraft on the bottom of her chin. I don't know. Maybe she's just going to rub it off, too. Because she goes and she starts scratching the bottom of her chin. She used to. She would rub it on things before she had this thing. And she would make it bleed. So she's kind of aggressive on it. So I don't know. Maybe she will knock it off. Maybe she's going to have a giant open wound and I'm going to have to figure that shit out. And you can't project into things because I don't know that it's going to happen. But everything can feel like, oh my God, okay, I get it. I'll be there in a minute. And she's ringing the bell. She's not ringing to go out. She's ringing for me to go in and make her food. So I know what you want. You want food. I get it. Okay, I'll be there just a minute, John McQueen. God, see, this is how she runs my day. Oh my God, damn. She's like, if I want something, I want it. And it's the craziest thing because we're just going through the food so fast and she just wants to eat more and more and more and more. And she's going to go right back. Oh, she's pissed. She gets so mad when she doesn't get what she wants. God. And Max is just out here sprawled on her bed. It's just like, oh, I'm just so happy when she gets out of it because I'm going to sprawl all over it. And then she'll want back in. And then he'll just turn into like a bag of rocks. Like, no, I'm not getting up. So, and then Archie always jumps down like, what? He's always got to get involved. Yesterday, now, Archie is definitely going like, I don't know. Poor little Max is the little bitch. And he's always getting picked on by somebody. And But if Stella is like bitching at him and barking at him, then Archie will come down and start avenging Max to Stella. So Archie will get up in Stella's face, just barking, and it's just like this lower tone and this higher, or no, a deeper tone and this higher tone, and they're just barking back and forth. The back was so fucking loud, and Max just sits there. And I don't know that Stella is realizing that Archie's trying to be confrontational. I think she thinks, well, we're just all barking and we're just all out here just barking. I don't think that she knows, but I think I can see Archie is getting more and more like, because the other day Stella was doing it to him, barking and barking right up on his ass, and he turned around and was like, tries to like, I don't think he would have really bit her or something, but I don't know. He's definitely a gremlin. Like, he definitely goes gremlin. I don't know. Like, I just got to keep working with him. I'm working with him because he is young. But I just think, man, if I would have, he is so fucking on me all the fucking time. It is crazy. I don't know that I've ever had a dog that has to be like right on me all the time. And, his emotional crying and stuff. But I think if I would have let that person take him and adopt him, I think it would have been hard on him. I think he would have felt rejected again. I think he feels stressed out. I think both of these two still feel stress. They still don't completely feel like, this is our home. This is our life. We're taken care of. Someone's feeding us. We have a family. I think they still are like on edge of like, is the bottom going to fall out? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? And then I think plus they pick up on the energy around us, and the energy is all around us. The bottom is falling out all over the place, and everything is shifting and changing. It is like this game, and the bottom's falling out in different places. But I was totally seeing this thing with our transits, and that is your code of your life, of the way it's going to go, your little click 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 click. But you'd have to lay it over every single other person's to see who you were going to meet up with at different times, because everything is set like that. I'm telling you, it's like we're all these transits, we're all these patterns set on top of each other, and they all go in and create a new pattern, because we all go in and meet into each other, and then we affect one another, and we teach one another, and we learn from each other. But that's when all things are working good, because right now, we have a lot of anger and hatefulness and divisiveness, and like weird, like people are so caught where they sit and videotape somebody dying instead of trying to help them. Like, man, we live in such a distortion of a existence. But but that's the thing, is like when these people start realizing the error of their ways, when they're like all of a sudden the lights come on and they're connected, they're going to feel the pain that they should have felt. It's going to come up and hit them in the backside. So anyways, that's what's still, it's coming. It's coming. And so just remember, what you need to be doing is working on you, learning how to love yourself, love everyone, and how to have a loving day, because it's totally up to you. So that's what we'll be doing around here today, and watching out for people pulling up. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.